A thin stick of silicon, no larger than a stick of gum, can move gigabytes in seconds. Yet two drives that look almost identical can perform worlds apart. Most people see labels like SATA, M2, AHCI, or NVMe and assume they're just different shapes, when in reality, they represent entirely different communication languages under the hood. Those hidden differences decide whether your system boots in a blink, loads massive files smoothly, or bottlenecks itself without you ever knowing why. By the end of this breakdown, you'll clearly understand how SATA, PCIe, AHCI, and NVMe actually connect, compete, and fit together so the specs finally make sense. Let's break it down. SATA. SATA stands for Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. In plain English, it's the older, traditional way most SSDs connect to a computer. If you've ever seen a 2.5-inch SSD that looks like a slim laptop hard drive, that's almost always a SATA drive. SATA exists because it was originally designed for hard disk drives. Back when spinning drives were the standard, SATA replaced older, bulky ribbon cable systems and made connections simpler and faster. It solved a real bottleneck at the time. The problem is, SSDs became dramatically faster than hard drives, but they were still using the same highway that was built for slower traffic. Here's how it works. A SATA connects to your motherboard using a SAT cable and communicates through a controller using the AHCI protocol, which we'll talk about next. Think of it like a sports car forced to drive on a narrow two-lane road. The car itself is capable of much more speed, but the road limits how fast it can actually go. In real-world terms, SATA SSDs typically max out around 500 to 550 megabytes per second. Compared to an old hard drive that might do 100 to 150 megabytes per second, that feels insanely fast. Boot times drop from minutes to seconds. But compared to newer SSD types, SATA starts to look modest. It's fast compared to hard drives, slow compared to modern PCIe-based drives. The advantages? They're affordable, widely compatible, and incredibly stable. Almost any desktop or laptop from the last decade supports SATA. The downside is simple: performance ceiling. No matter how advanced the NAND flash inside gets, SATA caps it. SATA is perfect for budget builds, older systems, secondary storage, or anyone upgrading from a hard drive for the first time. If your goal is everyday speed without chasing benchmarks, SATA delivers. In short, SATA SSDs are like upgrading from a bicycle to a motorcycle. Massive improvement, just not a rocket ship. AHCI, Advanced Host Controller Interface. Unlike SATA, AHCI isn't a physical connector, it's a communication protocol. It's the language your SSD and motherboard use to talk to each other over a SATA connection. AHCI was created when hard drives ruled the world. Its purpose was to allow features like hot swapping and native command queuing. At the time, this was cutting edge. But here's the key. AHCI was built around the limitations of spinning disks, not solid-state memory. Technically, AHCI allows one command queue with up to 32 commands at a time. That was more than enough for hard drives, which physically move a read/write head around a spinning platter. But SSDs don't have moving parts. They can handle thousands of simultaneous operations. So using AHCI with an SSD is like having a supercomputer that's only allowed to process tasks one small batch at a time. In practice, AHCI adds overhead and increases latency compared to newer protocols like NVMe. You won't notice this in light tasks like web browsing, but under heavy workloads, large file transfers, gaming loads, video editing, it becomes a limiting factor. The benefit of AHCI is universal compatibility. Every major operating system has supported it for years. It's stable, predictable, mature. The downside? It bottlenecks SSD performance because it wasn't built with flash memory in mind. AHCI is ideal when using SATA drives and for systems that don't support newer protocols. It's not something you choose as a consumer, as much as something you inherit when using SATA. If SATA is the road, AHCI is the traffic rulebook written for horse-drawn carriages. It works, but it was never designed for modern speed. M2, form factor. M2 is not a speed standard. It's not a protocol. It's a shape. Specifically, it's a small, slim form factor designed to replace bulky storage drives and cables inside modern computers. M2 was created to solve a physical problem. As laptops got thinner and desktops got more compact, the old 2.5-inch SATA drive format with cables and separate power connectors started to feel outdated. Manufacturers needed something smaller, cleaner, and more direct. M2 removed cables entirely and allowed storage to plug straight into the motherboard like a stick of gum. Here's how it works. An M2 SSD slides into a slot on the motherboard and lies flat against it. No SATA cable, no power cable, just a direct edge connection. But here's where people get confused. M2 doesn't automatically mean faster. Some M2 drives use SATA internally, others use PCIe. Same shape, completely different performance potential. Think of M2 like a USB port shape. You can plug in very different devices into something that looks similar. The shape tells you how it connects physically. It does not tell you how fast it runs. In real-world performance, an M2 SATA SSD performs exactly like a regular 2.5-inch SATA SSD, around 500 megabytes per second. But an M2 PCIe SSD can be several times faster. So the performance depends on what's inside, not just the size. The advantages of M2 are obvious. Smaller footprint, no cables, cleaner builds, and flexibility. Downside is confusion. You must check whether the drive is SATA-based or PCI-based before buying. They look nearly identical. M2 is perfect for modern laptops, compact desktops, and anyone building a clean, minimal system. It's the industry's move toward direct, integrated design. M2 isn't the engine, it's the chassis. What makes it powerful depends entirely on what's under the hood. PCIe. PCIe stands for Peripheral Component Interconnect Express. In simple terms, it's the high-speed highway inside your computer that connects powerful components directly to the CPU. Graphics cards use it. Modern SSDs use it. It's built for speed from the ground up. PCIe wasn't created specifically for storage. It was designed to handle devices that needed massive bandwidth, like GPUs. As SSD technology improved, manufacturers realized something important. Instead of squeezing SSDs through the old SATA pipeline, why not plug them straight into the same high-speed lanes used by graphics cards? That shift eliminated a major bottleneck. Here's how it works. PCIe provides multiple lanes for data to travel simultaneously. Each generation, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, doubles potential bandwidth. Think of it like expanding a 2-lane road into a 16-lane superhighway. More lanes mean more data can move at once, and it moves with less delay. In real-world terms, a PCIe Gen 3 SSD can reach around 3,500 megabytes per second. That's roughly 6 times faster than SATA. Gen 4 can double that again. Compared to SATA, file transfers feel almost instant. Large game installs shrink dramatically. Heavy workloads like 4K video editing benefit immediately. But compared to newer PCIe generations, older ones start to look limited. The advantages are clear: dramatically higher bandwidth, lower latency, and scalability across generations. The downside? You need motherboard and CPU support for this specific generation. And beyond a certain point, everyday users may not feel the difference between extremely high speeds. PCIe is ideal for gamers, content creators, and anyone working with large files or demanding applications. It's also the foundation for modern high-performance storage. If SATA is a city street, PCIe is an express freeway built for sustained, high-speed traffic. The difference isn't subtle, it's architectural. NVMe, NVMe stands for Non-Volatile Memory Express. Unlike PCIe, which is the physical highway, NVMe is the traffic system designed specifically for SSDs running on that highway. It's a protocol, a language optimized for flash memory. NVMe was created because AHCI, the older protocol used with SATA, simply couldn't keep up. AHCI allowed one queue with 32 commands. NVMe supports thousands of queues with thousands of commands each. It was designed from scratch for parallel processing and low latency, exactly what SSDs are good at. Here's how it works. NVMe communicates directly with the CPU over PCIe lanes, reducing overhead and eliminating unnecessary translation layers. Imagine replacing a single cashier line at a store with hundreds of checkout counters operating at once. Instead of waiting your turn, tasks get processed simultaneously. That's the efficiency shift NVMe introduces. In practical terms, NVMe drives feel noticeably snappier in demanding workloads. Boot times improve slightly over SAT, but the real gains show up in large transfers, multitasking, gaming load times, and professional workloads. Compared to HCI-based SAT drives, NVMe cuts latency significantly. Compared to older NVMe generations, newer ones simply scale bandwidth higher. The advantages are high parallelism, lower latency, and future scalability. The limitation? To benefit, you need PCIe support. And for light everyday tasks, the difference between a mid-range NVMe and a high-end one may not be dramatic. NVMe is best for performance-focused builds, gaming rigs, creative workstations, and enterprise environments handling heavy I/O loads. If PCIe is the highway, NVMe is a traffic system designed specifically for race cars instead of horse carts. It doesn't just go faster, it was built for speed from the beginning. We started with 5 names that sound technical and confusing. But once you separate shape from speed and road from traffic rules, the picture becomes simple. If you're upgrading an older system or building on a budget, SATA still makes sense. If you're building something modern and performance-focused, PCI and NVM are the clear direction forward. And M2? That's simply how most of it shows up physically today. SSD types aren't competing definitions. They're pieces of the same puzzle, and now you can see how they fit. If this breakdown was useful, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dive tech content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.